You have a microphone? Good afternoon, everybody. Respected Principal Sir, Shri Narendra Jana ji, Momita Madam, all senior dignitaries of this BBIT, our state head Shubhendu ji, my colleagues of Reliance Jio, and my dear friends, my students of BBIT. I would like to thank you all for giving me an opportunity to speak to you. It's a great honor for me to speak to you on this occasion. I would like to start with the vision of our chairman. He says, students of today are the knowledge workers of tomorrow, and in their success lies India's ability to fulfill its digital destiny. Jio is a creation of the young, by the young, and for the young. So friends, we are into the stage of technology. When we were born, there was only pigeons. We used to hear about pigeons, kabutar, ja, ja, ja. And time after time, the time evolves, and there was need to have communication. We want to communicate with each other for necessity and other things. And necessity is the mother of all inventions. So technology has also evolved and delivered the digital promise what we are seeing as on today. So it all started. I will restrict myself to the digital part, to the mobile part, rather than to the older part. It all started somewhere in 1980s. The requirement of communication for military purpose. So when there was war, when the soldiers or warships are there was need to communicate with each other, and that results into the evolvement and formation of 1G. When we say G stands for the generation. The first generation of mobile telephony started somewhere in 1980s, and this was primarily used for the military purposes. And when it was stabilized, then there was felt a need, why not we have a kind of communication systems which is also available for the public also. So that has resulted into the discussion and talks all across the world, and there is a formation of a body called 3GPP. 3GPP is an organization across the world which develops the protocols and stacks for mobile communications. It has its headquarters in France. So then comes 2G part. 2G was pure total digital communications where two persons can talk to each other. You must be wondering that what is इसमें है क्या? But you all are millennium students. You born in 2000. You are generation Z. But people like me and even one generation who are after me have born, they have not seen the mobile telephone since till 2000. It has only started somewhere in 2000 in 1995 about the 2G part. So what 2G has offered? 2G has offered voice communication. It was people wondering that if you go somewhere, standing somewhere, and you can talk to a person. So that was a miracle at that point of time. When things got stabilized at that point of time, then they was felt the need of sending some text messages, some data. So that has further resulted into the formation of SMS, the text messages that has started coming, and little bit of data up to say 200 kbps, 250 kbps kind of things that has started. So with the GSM, the 2G GSM comes the GPRS and edge technologies, if you might have heard, that has started coming up. And that got stabilized in India, many of the operators are still using this technology in India. Then question comes, have it made it large? Is it good enough? Because people's needs keeps on increasing day by day. And the speed of this 2G is limited to up to 250 kbps. But the need was people wants to be connected every time, everywhere. And that results into the need of another. इसमें ये लॉक हो गया सौविक fine, it's okay now. So that result into the third generation of mobile communication. So in that was actually, I will say, the first steps towards mobile communications in real sense. This was somewhere in 2000 in the world, but in India it was somewhere in 2012 when this 3G started. Apart from voice, the people have started realizing that they want to be connected, they want to use data. Not only the email part, they want to do something more. If you recall, I don't know, you can't recall, but I can recall that smartphone was launched, iPhone was launched in India also in 2007-2008, but it failed. Reason? Because there was no technologies at that point of time. There was no feature phone. There was no app. So that's why it failed. But 3G was the first step. The third generation was introduced in India. At that time, the mobile communication with data has started. People have started realizing that they can make video calls also. But again, early stage, it was only the kind of operating system that Android phone used to name ice cream sandwich, if you recall, Eclair, and people used to use it only for playing games. There was no app at that point of time, but people watched it. So suddenly and slowly, the applications started coming in, and we have Ola, Uber kind of these companies that have started coming up. Data is using a data point of time. We have started getting the video calls during this point of 3G. But has it made it large? Was it good enough? Because the limitation of 3G was only up to 1 Mbps. So people says, oh, this is not good enough. We want something more. That result into another generation of technologies, what we call it as 4G technologies, fourth generation of technologies. And these 4G technologies that we have introduced also, it is mobile technology in true sense, because it gives high-speed data, video streaming, and many more. How many of you have thought before this COVID period that your phone can be used for multiple purposes? It can be used for as your wallet also, UPI. Nobody thought it. Your Swiggy deliveries and other so all kind of activities that is happening nowadays on phone, that was made possible because with the help of 4G technologies, the speed, the download speed can go up to 100 Mbps. So with that time, the technology starts evolving. People are, the technology that you are using, the phones that are using before, say, I'll say year back, it was 4G technologies, which is in true sense is mobile data. But the question was, have it made it large? Is it good enough? It was not. Because people, we as a human being are not satisfied with what we have. We always want to do something more. So we want to do something more than what we have already doing it. We were fed, "Arey, ye to ho gaya. Ab kya?" So then it resulted into the technology that is called 5G, and we call it as immersive broadband. What 5G can do? I will discuss with you the use cases, the difference between 4G and 5G, because many of you will be questioning, "Arey, sab kuch to chal raha hai, 4G to chal raha hai, why 5G? What 5G can do?" So that question in my next slides I will answer. But remember three things about 5G. 5G can do massive broadband. The speed of 4 Mbps, 10 Mbps, 6 Mbps that you get on 4G, you have experienced, many of you have experienced. In 5G, it can go up to 900 Mbps. So one of the utility is massive broadband. Other utility is ultra reliable low latency part. When you need very precision activities, like when you're talking about precision of doctors doing some robotics kind of surgery, then you need a precision. Latency has to be low. I believe that majority of you are engineers, you understand this technology of latency. The third important thing that 5G can do is machine to machine massive communication. Now, what 5G can do is machine to machine working means driverless machines, driver you can do it. Everything, every machine that has been used can talk to each other, and it is going to change the life. So, Jio, we have launched 4G services in India and in Kolkata in year 2016, and we have brought the digital revolutions we have captured along with this Jio. I think that was before 2016, before the launch of digital services of 4G in Jio, the cost of data was very, very high. So the Jio has bought this cost, the latest technology to the everybody at the affordable cost without compromising on the quality part. And then is our services, the 5G services, we call it as true 5G, which is we are leading the way, the India only true 5G network. Now you must be wondering, 5G to 5G hota hai, why you are calling it as true 5G? There is a reason why we call it as true 5G and not only 5G. The reason is because this is an unparalleled combination of coverage, capacity, quality and affordability. So these are the four terms. It's an unparalleled combination of coverage, capacity, quality and affordability. How we are achieving this? Because we have a standalone 5G architecture. I'll come to know what you mean by standalone. We have the largest and best mix of spectrum. So all these mobile communications, your food is your spectrum. And the third is carrier aggregation. Now I'll try to explain you about the true 5G, the three things that I talked about, what I mean by standalone, what I mean by largest spectrum. This I will talk about. When I say we are standalone, you must have hearing about standalone and non-standalone. Our 5G network is totally independent of our 4G network. Totally standalone. All our elements, network elements, the BTS, you see, the equipment that we have are totally independent. They are not dependent on 4Gs. I just give an example. What I mean to say is, when you go and buy a car, you can buy a basic model or you can buy a top model. So our network is top model. So we are not in the basic mode, it's a top model. All the network elements that we are using it is whatever is possible on 5G is available even in Kolkata as of today. That is one part. Low latency, I have talked about. Best speed, you all have seen the network slicing part. Network slicing is like when you create a highway. You can dedicate different rows for group of people who want to use for that particular speed. Like you can have four-wheelers going to a high speed on the right hand side. You can another highway lane which can be used for the low speed, and you can have for the two-wheelers. So that is you can just imagine when I say network slicing, because these are the terminology you will be listening. Network slicing है, network slicing है, network slicing का मतलब क्या है? No, network slicing is basically the same spectrum. If you can use for different group of people simultaneously, that is only possible through true 5G on standalone, not on the NSA part. Massive machine to machine, I'll talk about this. I will show you some practical examples what I mean when we say machine to machine, and power efficiencies. just you can imagine the kind of volume of load data that is being worked here. So when you are having such a massive data, then you have to have efficiencies needs to be brought in. So this brings the efficiency part. Spectrum. So Jio is the only operator who has bought all three bands of spectrum. 700 band, which is called low band frequencies. Then you have mid band 3500, and then your millimeter wave. So you are engineering students, you know wavelength is inversely proportional to frequencies. So if the frequency is more, the wavelength is less. So 700 megahertz, which has got the lowest frequency, that can deep penetrate inside the building, and then your mid-range 3500 megahertz, this can address both your capacity and coverage, and then your millimeter waves, which is your 26 gigahertz, that can be used for your capacity part. And we have all the three bands working and commercialized in Calcutta. Who are our partners? We have developed the ecosystems. So ecosystem is developed. We have used the best available resources, vendors available, which is Qualcomm, Intel, Cisco, Ericsson, Nokia, Samsung, and one of them is Jio platform. Jio platform, when you make a mobile communications, you have a heart. Heart is your switch. So switch part is our own indigenous platform. The product, the network elements are by our own Jio team. So that is all indigenous part that is being used. So where are we as on today? So as I'm talking about, we are already present more than 6,258 cities, 36 states and union territory. All union states and territory up to taluka level we have already covered. This is the fastest deployed 5G standalone network across the globe. Now, Shubhendu has talked about Calcutta. I'll talk about specifically about Calcutta part. So Calcutta, length of breadth of Calcutta, we have our 5G services available, and we have more than 4,300 sites, 5G sites ready. Coming to BBIT campus. So friends, our 5G services are available in this BBIT technology campus also. So we have 2 sites which is serving this campus, and you must have seen that speed up to 676 Mbps that is covering. The other part is that 93% of our network is connected on fiber. The rest 7% is connected on high-speed microwave band, which was not earlier possible. Where the national average is 38 to 40% fiber connectivity, in Calcutta our sites are 93% connected on fiber part. So when we talked about what we are doing, it is always important to benchmark yourself against how others are doing it. Earlier, we used to compete with our competitors in the India itself, but our competition is across the world, and we want to be the best, not telecom, but digital platform company across the world. So we try to benchmark across the world where the world has reached and where we are today. Availability means spread. So in less than 1 year, we have already covered almost 30% of the population of the world, of the India, and as far as America and South Korea, these are the leading 2 operators who are with whom we are competing. In terms of download speed, the average download speed in India is around 301 Mbps, and you must be happy that your campus is having more than double of this speed available as on today now, which is better than what America is doing and slightly less than what South Korea is doing. Again, this speed depends upon the loading, the spectrum that you are having, and from which distance, how many concurrent users that you have. But this is the average, and this is not measured by Jio. These are the third-party companies who do all this kind of technologies part. The peak speed, we have seen 712 Mbps, but in your campus, we have seen up to 900 Mbps. So friends, if you go your 4G phones, or it will come to 4 Mbps, 5 Mbps, 10 Mbps, the speed of 9 Mbps. It was never thought before 5G was launched. So in India, we are the best, we are the true 5G and number one 5G availability. 80% of the 5G coverage that is available in India is done by Jio, rest by our competitors. Then we are number one in our 5G download, and network experience is best on our true 5G. So the reason why we call it as true 5G. So these are the reasons why we call it as true 5G. Having said that, so friends, if you see this slide, as I said, we are not benchmarking ourselves to what in India is happening. We are benchmarking ourselves across the world, and I am happy to share that we are the best in India. So I think a big round of applause for what
everybody guys, come on. And what the country has achieved so far. For that, for Hindustan, जोरदार तालियां हो जाए. Thank you, Sanjeev.
Thank you. So far I talked about the 5G, the true 5G, what we are doing. But the question is how this 4G, this 5G is different from our 4G part. So I will show you some of the live example in the industry, how 5G is transforming the life in the industry part. Friends, sit back, relax and enjoy what is 5G can do change your life. Thank you.
Here's point job as you roll the flames of the next slide. Yeah, 19 minutes in the middle.
Earlier it was industry and gaming, now it's sports. AR, VR. play. So these are possible only if you have true 5G network.
The Jio True 5G powered Jio Glass truly transforms your life. Right from the moment you wake up. To doing your morning fitness routine. From how you get your daily updates to how you multitask on the go. From how you collaborate with your colleagues to how you stay connected with your family while you're at it. From revolutionizing the way you and your loved ones shop as your favorite stores come home, to how your kids experience learning in a way that is not just fun, but interactive and immersive. From how you can learn along with gamers from around the world. To how you can take on gamers at home. And most importantly, how you spend quality time with yourself. Without getting in the way of your loved one's sleep.
Friends, when you have seen this industry 4, so this is not what 5G can do, this is what 5G is already doing. When you order anything online, either on Jio or Amazon, and you see that delivery happens in 1 day time, 2 day times, or even when you order on Zomato, Swiggy, how this happened? That something happens at the back end, which they use the technologies and they are able to deliver it. So I shared with you the videos. These are the real application of 5G which is already being implemented, and this is being used across the industries. So how this 5G is going to change the life? It will change in medical life. When you have the doctors which are connected online, imagine that ambulance that has been run. So there is a time period from the home till the patient reaches to the hospital in the ambulance. So if even during that time, if your patient is connected to the doctors, this is what online, this is what the 5G can do. In the field of agriculture, the drones that is nowadays, I give you live examples. You all know that the floods have happened in Himachal Pradesh, where we have used drones to lay our fiber across the river. When it is not possible, the drones are being used to lay the fibers to reach during this time. Agriculture, healthcare, then in terms of education also. So when I did my engineering, we used to buy a lot of books. We used to have khatas and we used to use a pen. Nowadays, everything was 2D. Tata McGraw-Hill, BP Lati and other things you might have heard or you might be reading that part. But now everything is online. The three-dimensional part that 5G can brought in, this is because of massive broadband, the low latency part, this is going to change. Next. Now when you go and buy, I just again give you an example, live example, when you nowadays the car that is coming, that has got full of features, all are your technology enabled. Your advisor do any mechanical work, he can go and see what part is missing, what is problem, which cable is not functioning. All this possible because of the technology that is coming. And the things which we thought that it is virtual, you can have this realize. Might be you will see the AR VR glasses that we have kept the demo. You can go and see that how virtually you can see the things, and you can himself you can see and practice that how this is going to change your life. Next please. And the type of video resolution that we have nowadays. So that is possible only with the 5G technology. Next. And before I come to end to this my presentation, the only thing, because you all are students, it is important for all of us to keep learning. Whatever is due, it's good, you keep learning. Jo Soni wo sikhni. That's what I heard, I learned. And every technology has got shelf life period. We have seen 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. And when 2G was there, we were not expecting that we will have something like called 5G. And what we are doing right now, it was not imaginable 3 years back. Similar thing will happen, that might be working and thinking that this is not real, but this is a fact. And people have already started talking about 6Gs and other things. So technology it's not a milestone. It's a journey that will continue. I'll finish this with a small glimpse of Calcutta. So friends, what we did is in last couple of days before coming here, we did the test drive download speeds across multiple locations in BBIT campus, and I'm happy to share the results that we have achieved. We have achieved in the campus. So we have achieved 747, 600, 676, 911, this kind of download speed in your campus. So your campus is true 5G enabled campus in this Calcutta. So you must be happy, and I'm happy to share this part. So I thank you all for your patience hearing to me, and I hope that I'm able to touch something on your transforming your life into the 5G part. Technology is the thing that you need to learn, and you have to keep on fast forwarding. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, I think